Okay, welcome everybody. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Dan Kerr. I wear many hats here at All Souls. I'll tell you the story of this hat a little bit later on. And on behalf of our congregation, it's my privilege to welcome you here to this wonderful concert that we do once a month. So we don't do it just this particular day and this particular month. We do these concerts every month. And they're called Saturdays at 6. And someone will always call me and say, what time is the Saturdays at 6 concert? So for those of you who are thinking, it's always at 6 o'clock. So, you'll see on the back of the little flyer, and I encourage you to pick up one of these if you don't have one, our mission statement. Our mission statement says that we strive to be mutually supportive of the personal spiritual journey, respecting the individuality of all, and accepting the value of meeting people wherever they are on that journey. So we at All Souls believe that everyone is on a spiritual journey. So we recognize that Christianity, there are many trees, many branches to the tree of Christianity. We also recognize that Christianity is not the only tree in the forest. And we also recognize that there are people on a spiritual journey who at this point may not have a relationship with their Creator, and they're welcome here as well. So we meet people wherever they are. And we meet people in a variety of ways. So for those of you who bought food this evening, that food goes to St. Gerard Mejia's food pantry in Terryville. They feed it's a Roman Catholic church, they feed about 200 families, and we actively support that ministry. So if you brought food today, thank you. If you didn't bring food today, next time you pass by the church, the doors are open every day, just drop off a can of food. Because we believe that, Jesus told us to feed the hungry, we believe we should do that. The other way we meet people is the doors of this church are open every day. I repeat, the doors of this church are open every day, which is unusual for a church to have its doors open every day. And one of the hats I wear here at All Souls is I'm the guy who opens the doors. So I can say with authority, the doors are open every day. And sometimes when I open those doors, there's someone waiting to come in, which is great. So we meet people there. We also meet people through our monthly outreach events. So in addition to our concerts, we do Native American drumming once a month. It's generally the fourth Thursday of the month. Healing experience that comes out of the indigenous people. And it's great to see Renee and others from the drumming program here this evening. So we do the Native American drumming once a month. We also do a poetry reading once a month, which is called Second Saturdays. People always call and they say, well, when is the poetry? Well, it's the second Saturday of every month. So we do that virtually, and we do that at 11 a.m. virtually, the second Saturday of every month. And Gladys Henderson, who was the former poet laureate of Suffolk County, said that poetry is just another means of prayer. So every time we do the poetry, we recognize that indeed poetry is just another means of prayer. And then we do the Saturdays at 6. So this is not a one-shot deal. We do this either the first or second Saturday of every month, Saturdays at 6. And St. Augustine said that singing is like praying twice. So you guys will be leading us in prayer a little bit later on. So we appreciate that. So those are things we do on a monthly basis. And on a weekly basis, we do things to meet people where they are on their spiritual journey as well. So we do a weekly interfaith morning prayer service. And our cameraman today, which you want to wave, Tom? Our cameraman today, Tom will wave his hand, is also a deacon at the local Lutheran church, Messiah Lutheran. He and I lead an interfaith morning prayer service here every Tuesday. And we have had a few like a 10-mile radius from this church. You'll find that clergy from most of the denominations, including Rabbi Gray from Temple Isaiah, Rabbi Benson from the Jewish Center in Port Jeff, Iman Abdullah from the Selden Mosque, and Mufti Arib from the Selden Mosque. We do an interfaith morning prayer service, and it truly is interfaith. So what's really neat about that service is we all get together and pray. We focus on those things that we agree with, and we share in common, and there's always someone from a different religious denomination who gives a homily as well. So we meet people there. And our bartender, Susan, you want to wave? Our bartender, Susan, tonight also leads an interdenominational rosary here every Wednesday at noon. So there's a stereotype out there that only Roman Catholics do the rosary. That's actually not true. So we've combined the Greek Orthodox tradition, the Roman Catholic tradition, and the Anglican tradition. We do an interfaith rosary. And I told you I'd tell you the story of this hat. You may have seen the big sign when you came in. Once a year, we do the annual Souls for All Souls 5K run, or 5K race, and 2K walk. And there's two purposes of that event. One, it raises the awareness or celebrates all the different ways that we like to contribute to the community. So it's truly a celebration of what we do here. And also it raises funds to make the church handicapped accessible and to put a bathroom in the church. So if you ask me where the bathroom is, I'm not going to tell you to go in the woods. I'm going to send you down to Fratelli, it used to be Fratelli's, which is now Schnitzel's. So we don't have a bathroom attached to the church. And there are people who would like to join us this evening who couldn't make it up the stairs. So we're committed to making the church accessible as well. When Stanford White designed this church and it was built in 1896, life expectancy in the US was 50 years. So when I looked out at the audience, I think there are a few of us here who probably wouldn't have made the cut back then. So accessibility was not kind of high on this list. So those are the different ways that we meet people wherever they are in their spiritual journey. Just a couple of things. You've all got your little bulletin. If you didn't get your little concert bulletin, please pick one up from Susan. There's a description of the band in there. And you'll also see there is a pink insert in there. And that pink insert summarizes, there's not going to be a test, but summarizes all the different outreach activities we have here. And also includes a one-page flyer on our annual race as well. So if you'd like to participate in the race, if you'd like to run in it, or you'd like to walk in it, it's all the information you need there. And if you'd like to be a sponsor as well, get your name in the back of the shirt, let me know. So as far as tonight's program, there will be 2 sets of music. And in between the 2 sets of music, there'll be a 15-minute intermission. We will leave time for questions at the end. So you have an opportunity to ask the musicians any questions you might have, including what do you get one of these nifty CDs. It's nice to see musicians with CDs. And when Sue comes back, I'll get her to do something. Sue, when you come back, would you hold up that thank you jar, please, as well? Go ahead. She's negotiating the crowd here. So if you'd like to say thank you to the musicians, there's a little jar in the back. You can leave that there. I'm a CPA, so I have to count the funds, but that goes directly to the musicians as a thank you for their work this evening. And there are 5 of them, so we're looking to hopefully you guys will be generous to them. And we will conclude before 8 o'clock. Okay? One other thing I should mention, I always forget something. So I forgot my tie today, and I forgot my jacket. I'm dressed up as Jimmy Buffett here. So normally I have a little sign-up sheet if you'd like to be considered. I promise not to ask you for money, but if you'd like to be a friend of the church, what that means is just put your name and your email here, and I'll include you on invitations to our concerts, our poetry readings, and our Native American drumming as well. We've got one of the other hats I wear is I'm the membership chairman, and people often ask me, well, how many members do you have here at All Souls? And I say, well, if you include people in nursing homes and babies just being baptized, we got about 100. But if you include people like yourselves who we have a relationship with in the community, it's about 1,000. So those are people who get an invitation to our various events. So if you'd like to be invited to the concerts, the poetry readings of Native American drumming, just put your email and your name here, and please try to write legibly. Okay, so it's a great pleasure to introduce Eastbound Freight. Eastbound Freight Bluegrass includes 5 of Long Island's premier bluegrass musicians. They've been delighting audiences. They look pretty young for having to say this, but over the last 3 decades, they've been delighting audiences in the New York area. This evening's performance will feature instrumental music and vocal selections that highlight the wide range of uniquely American music genre, fiddle and banjo instrumentals, traditional gospel music, songs from the honky-tonk and the coal mine, as well as recent tunes that have been adapted to the bluegrass repertoire, will all be presented in a varied and freewheeling program. So let's welcome individually the band members. So first of all, let's welcome John Briscotti on mandolin, the founder of the group. Let's welcome Dave Thompson, who also appears not only with this group, but also with the High Country Band on guitar. Dave Thompson. let's welcome Bruce Barry, who also appears with the Sky Boys on banjo. Let's also, and there's a family line here, I suspect, Phil Gelfer, who appears with the Sykes Boys and Six Band on fiddle. And Sam, did you put your shoes on?
Yeah.
You know, Jesus wore sandals. My wife said there's a musician up there with bare feet, so we're in fault. If you want to take your shoes off, you're welcome. Sam Galfer, who also appears with the new students on bass. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome Eastbound Frank.
here every day. And then you come mother, she won't be around. I'd like to wander back to the old That was for Stony Brook. Yes. Old hometown, right? We're glad you folks came out today on a hot day like this, and probably it's getting windy out there. It's going to rain soon, so it could be here all night. Whatever. It's good to see so many friends, people that have come to see us over the years. And we did play up at the Methodist Church a little while back. That's how we met Dan and Susan. Played up there probably over a year ago. A lot of fun. Good crowd. Yep. Tall Pines? All right, here's one. It's a tree song. Tall Pines. This is written by a fellow named Damon Black, recorded by Bill Monroe, who was the father of this kind of music. I know you guys might want to ask questions later, but give credit where it's due. Bill Monroe was the inventor of bluegrass, the father of bluegrass. He and James sang Tall Pines. Once in my youth I stood on this mountain and planted Okay, I'm gonna dedicate this next one to my little dog.
Oh.
This is called Walking the Dog. Little kind of bluegrass swagger, I guess.
Bring on the numbers.
Right.
Dogs
So,
in
yeah.
church now.
Right. Yeah. Dan, you have dogs in this church? No, you don't. We play at a brewery sometimes out in Cutchogue, and they have dog days out there. I'll yodel later a little bit, you know, but it's a risk when the dogs are
Right
How's it
close.
go? How's it go?
More banjo.
Yeah,
More
there
banjo.
you go.
I'm walking dog, I'm never blue. I'm walking dog, ain't think about you. Ain't got no one to tie me down. I'm walking dog, I'm taking down. There's a easy line, I'm living till the day that I left you. I'm carrying back. I'm walking dog, all day all night. I'm full of pep, just can't grow old. Got on track line, so I've been told. I'm carefree land, it's seen a line. I'm walking dog, all day and all night. Such an easy line, running you. Every day that I left you, I'm carefree land, it's seen a line. I'm walking dog. All day, all night. Till the day that I left you, I'm carefree land, that seems fine. I'm walking dog, all day and all night. Thank you. Tell it, humidity's changing out there.
Oh boy.
Or maybe it's high tide, I don't know. Instruments are adjusting.
So-
I want to get two more
Maybe it's
in.
high tide.
Dogs are howling.
Two more? Yeah. We
Oh.
got time for two more, Dan, you think? Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I see it's broke. The storm is
So we
coming.
gotta do banjo number, Sunset Trail?
Let's do Sunset Trail.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one. Okay, let's make him sing.
Oh, okay.
You ready? Oh, we'll get Bruce to sing this next one. This is another one Bill Monroe wrote, called the Sunset Trail. None of these tunes are very happy, really, but you know somehow you guys keep smiling. Matter of you. This is you can almost hear the horses clip clop on the bacon on this. We're gonna. You guys feel like
Yeah.
chiming in, right?
Thank you, Jesus.
Now we feel.
Crowding you over there?
No, I'm good. I like being this close.
You know, there's a whole
I heard
catalog
about you.
of banjo jokes, right? And one of them is, how long does it take to tune a banjo? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it? You think you got it?
I think so. I think it's near perfect.
Strum your record. Sound alright? You good? Okay.
Sunset Trail.
That was
Okay, so did you Shenandoah Cold Tattoo?
Let's do Cold Tattoo. We'll start with the mining songs here. This is one written by a fellow named Billy Ed Wheeler.
Is this a happy one?
No.
This is, you know, we played out a cut
Happy
job.
Minded song?
Yeah, we played a job out of cut job, fun job, a couple of weeks ago, and somebody in the audience asked if we knew any happy mining songs. So, you know, we were kind of stumped, but somebody actually in the audience remembered Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Hi ho, it's up to, were they headed toward a mine? What there was, I remember a pickaxe on one of their shoulders, I think, unless I got it wrong.
I don't think it was cold.
Yeah, they weren't mine. They were like gems.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
No, there are no happy mining songs. So it's hard,
Not that we know.
hard, dangerous.
How did Uncle Bob's fairy tale?
All right, this is a song, Coal Tattoo, it's called. And the coal, if it falls on you when you're working in the mine, leaves a tattoo.
white sycamore, I'm leaving you behind. I've been a coal miner all my life, laying down tracking holes. Got a back like an ironwood bent by the wind. Blood veins as blue as coal. Blood veins as blue as coal. Somebody said that's a strange tattoo that you've got on the side of your head. That's just the blueprint left by the cold on a little more and I've been dead. Well, I love the rumble and I love the dark. I love the cool of the sand. If it's traveling down this new road looking for a job, if it's traveling and looking ahead, if it's traveling and looking ahead. For the union, I've walked in the line and I've stood against the company. Stood for the UMWA. Now who's gonna stand for me? I've got no house and I've got no pay. Just got a weary soul and this blue tattoo on the side of my head. Let find the number 9 hole. Let find the number 9 hole. Now someday when I'm dead and gone to heaven, the land of my dreams, won't have to worry about losing my job to bad times and big machines. I won't have to pay my money away on booze and a hospital plan. I'm gonna cut coal where the blue heaven roll and sing with the angel band. And sing with the angel band. Traveling down that cold town road, that's good rubber times line. It's goodbye to Buckeye, white sycamore, I'm leaving you behind. Thank you. Thanks, folks.
Before we break for intermission, just a couple of things. So, church has been here for quite a long time. You know, the congregation has existed since before the Civil War. This building has existed since 1896. It was designed by Stanford White. It's on the historical registry of historical places. And so what our tradition here is when we do a concert to tell one story about the history of the church. And the story I want to tell tonight, you know, people think of Stony Brook and everyone thinks of Ward Melville as, you know, perhaps Stony Brook's most famous citizen. And you can look at this window here and you see it's in honor of Jonas and Nancy Smith if you go back a couple hundred years. But probably the most famous citizen in Stony Brook internationally is Joseph Rivoli. So if you're familiar with Stony Brook Village, you go down Main Street by the Three Village Inn, and across the street, you'll see the Rivoli Center. And that Rivoli Center looks like a bank, because it was a bank at one point. And there's a plaque in the back of this church in honor of Anna Jasinski, who was a woman who worked at that bank for many years, who unfortunately was hit and killed by a car in 1961. And she was Joseph Riboli's aunt. And Lois Riboli, who's Joe's widow, who now manages the Riboli Center, told me an interesting story. She said, Anna Jasinski was the reason that Joe Riboli was an internationally famous artist. Because what happened when Joe was in junior high, whenever there would be an art show, his work always sold out. And that gave him a tremendous sense of confidence that he would be a great artist. What he didn't realize is the reason that his art sold out, it was his aunt, Anna Jasinski, had always agreed to buy up everything. So she bought it all up. So we have a special connection with Joe here. Joe was baptized as a child in that baptismal font. Joe used to serve on that altar in the Episcopal Church. We don't call them altar boys, we call them acolytes. He was an acolyte here. And he and his wife Lois were actually married here as well. Joe passed on about 15 years ago, but still has a very special connection with the Church. So we're moving the reception inside. We'll be serving a Grigio from Italy, a nice chilled Italian white wine. We'll be serving, I can't pronounce it, a red wine from Sicily. Unless you think all we do here at All Souls is drink wine, Steve Velasquez has donated a large cooler filled with iced tea, and we also offer water as well. There are trash bins in the front and in the back, so just put your empties in there. Please remember to be generous. There's that jar in the back for the musicians. If you want to leave a thank you for them. We do not have a pretentious guy with a triangle to let you know intermission is over. More impressive than that, we'll ring the bell. So enjoy the next 15 minutes intermission. Thank you. And if you want to be on the Friends of the Church list, just put your name and email up here. Thank you. Let's a couple of things before we get started. To remind everybody that if you want to be on the Friends of the Church list, just sign up here with your name and your email. We'll invite you to events. Also, please remember to thank the musicians. If you haven't thanked them already, you can thank them on the way out. And we will leave time for questions at the end. So let's welcome back Eastbound Freight.
Wanted to thank you all for coming and let you know where else we're playing in the coming months. We're playing at the Long Island Bluegrass Festival, August 17th at Tanner Park in Copiague. There's great music there that day. We're also playing September 1st at the Greenport Brewery in Peconic. I don't know if anybody gets out east. It's a really fun time. That's what Dave was talking about. There's dogs and
Bring your dogs, bring your kids.
Kids run wild. And then we're playing at the Sands Point Conservancy at their Oktoberfest, which is just a spectacular place near in Sands Point. That is September 22nd, and the rain date is the following, I guess, the 29th. Right. And then we're also scheduled for an event at Thatch Meadow Farm on October 5th. We're still waiting for confirmation on that, but that is going to happen. Also, I wanted to mention, you might have noticed the CDs here. People are coming and asking how much they are. Well, they're free. And there's more in the car. And there's even more in my basement. In my cellar. But if anybody is interested or actually has something they can play it on in their car, or, an antique thing,
Go to the Smithsonian.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be more expensive than this. But you're welcome to take one. And if we run out, as I said, there's more in my car. Well, thanks a lot for coming out. Yes, thanks for having us. I'm going to feature Bruce on this.
yodel.
Oh, okay.
You know what that means?
Just a little. A little goes a long way. All right, this Jimmy Rogers wrote this. He was at the time the king of country music, the singing brakeman they call him. We do a lot of train songs after we are Eastbound freight, and I always say we are the train. People ask one time, are we just the freight? No, it's the train, man. Here goes. I had a dream last night. Thought my good gal had gone. Woke up this morning, she had really done me wrong. Well, I know it's not fair. Thought my good gal had done cold hair. My gal's been traveling around just about a week ago. Several of my friends just told me so and so. Well, she's found a new man, and I can understand. And I'm going away, I'm leaving today, gonna bring my baby back. And that 8-wheel driver don't jump the railroad track. I'll take her from that man. I'm gonna bring her home if I can. Oh, lady, oh, lady, oh, lady. It's true, my baby's gone. I know it won't be long. Be on that train. My baby's coming home again. She's been traveling around, and now she's running down. And I'm going away, I'm leaving today, gonna bring my baby back if that 8-wheel driver don't jump the railroad track. I'll take her from that man. I'm gonna bring her home if I can. Oh, lady, lady, oh, lady. And I'm going away, I'm leaving today, gonna bring my baby back. And that 8-wheel driver don't jump the railroad track. I'll take her from that man. I'm gonna bring her home if I can. Yeah, lady, oh, if I can.
you won't hear this music sung like that.
Yeah.
Very many places. I mean, this guy really, really sing. He sings this music the way it's meant to be sung. What do we end on? Oh, yeah, we haven't done the film. What do you feel?
A little medley?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One time around?
That's good.
All right.
Right.
Doing a medley now. Get
What do
ready.
we start with?
You change keys.
D, right.
It changes keys.
I don't know, that's dangerous.
Wait, who are we?
I know what that means.
What'd you say?
Two more.
Oh, okay, sure, whatever. Sure, okay,
Two more.
okay. Yeah, but now we're tired. Let's do Paradise. Oh, good one.
Okay, we will do one written by one of my favorite songwriters, a fellow named John Prine, who passed away not too long ago. And people say he wrote the first environmental folk song. I don't know, figure it out. But, he wrote one called Paradise, Muhlenberg County. I don't know if you've heard that, but it worked its way into the bluegrass music a little while back. So this is John Prine's Paradise.
Yeah, it's like a waltz. Okay then.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
When I was a child, my family would travel back to Western Kentucky, where my parents were born. There's a backwards old town so often remembered. So many times my memories roam. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay. I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is rolling away. Well, sometimes we float right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison on Mighty Creek, where the air smell like snakes and we shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is rolling away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber and tore up the land. And they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken. And they wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is rolling away. we'll close with a gospel number
Okay,
here
oh, sure, yeah.
called Canaan's Land. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
To Canaan's land, I'm on my way where the soul of man never dies. My darkest night will turn to day where the soul of man never dies. He said there'll be no farewell, there'll be no dear demise. Where all your hands be lost, where the soul of man never dies. The rose is blooming there for me where the soul of man never dies. And I will spend eternity where the soul of man never dies. He said there'll be no farewell, there'll be no dear dim night. Where all your hands be lost, where the soul of man never dies. A love light beams across the dawn where the soul of man never dies. It shines and lights the way to home where the soul of man never dies. Dear friend, there'll be farewell, there'll be no dear dim night. Where all your hands be lost, where the soul of man never dies.
It's rare that we get a standing ovation. So at this point, our tradition is to open it up to questions. I think, Susan, you had a question?
You guys were fantastic. When Dan and I first saw you in Smithtown, I said to Dan 6 words: book them, book them, book them. Thank you for coming back.
I have a question for you.
Oh, questions, right.
The difference between country
That's right.
and bluegrass.
Ooh, that's
That was a good question. You go.
Wow.
No drums, no
Right.
electric guitars. More old time. Or the music's more oriented to old time fiddle music as opposed to rock, billy, swing type sound. Today I don't know what it is.
Did it come out of country?
I would
Country
say.
came out of bluegrass.
So bluegrass was first.
Yes.
It was more like acoustic mountain music, and then once, like really, like you correct me if I'm wrong, but like the more rock and roll started becoming more of a thing, and then that sort of mixing with bluegrass, I think, kind of
That's kind of when it happened,
Yeah.
That's right.
But bluegrass only goes back to, well, the first band was 1946. So it's relative for us, I guess.
What do you guys do for your day jobs?
I'm retired. I was a surgical technologist for 45 years.
I'm retired. I was an insurance broker, for which I apologize. It enabled me to do this.
I'm a retired orchestra teacher. I taught in the public schools for 45 years.
I'm also retired. But as the family business, I'm going. I've completed 15 years of public school orchestra teaching. So I'm also. We're getting there.
Yeah, I'm a carpenter. Now, I'm not retired.
He'll never retire.
But I have a question for Dan. Dan, when you look up here, you see the underside of cedar shingles. What was Stanford White thinking?
I can tell you exactly what
I bet you could. What was why?
So his vision, Stanford White led a colorful life. So we know that he was a wonderful architect. We know that he met his demise on top of a building that he designed. Wow. We know that he was shot by the wife of a woman who was reported to have deflowered as a young girl. So let him without sin cast the first stone. But his vision was two hands joined together in prayer.
Wow.
So you should look up. That was his vision.
But the underside, we're looking at raw shingles. There's no insulation on the other side. There can't be, really.
I will defer to Steve Velasquez, our building and grounds chairman.
And so what I thought, this sent me to the dictionary. I'm thinking, well, maybe he was making reference to a barn or a manger. Then I looked up manger, and manger is not a building.
Manger means bread.
It's right. I didn't know that until about 2 weeks ago. It's embarrassing.
So the best explanation I can give you is two hands joined together in prayer. Steve, anything else you want to add as our building and grounds chairman?
Just that his vision was like more of a summer chapel that people would come to.
Sure.
This would have been screen doors
Right.
at the time, and it would have been just an open air place to come and.
Does Sam ever visit here? Sam White, his son?
Yes.
I know. I was in his grade, in his class in elementary school. Then he went to private schools after about.
So when the Whites come, I temper the story a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Other questions, comments? Yes, Renee.
Is a fiddle and a violin the same exact thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Wait. I heard a great joke today about that, and someone said the same thing. You can tell the difference between a fiddle and a violin because a fiddle smells like beer. It's a good joke.
Violin smells like wine.
Right. Yeah.
That's probably a fitting way to end with it. Any other questions before I wind up? Yes.
Actually, yeah, I know you guys have some wonderful history with music in different bands. How did all of you guys get started in bluegrass on Long Island? But that's not where you normally think of your bluegrass.
Well, I kind of I'll start. I kind of brought it home with me from college. There were a couple
Where
of...
was that?
At Hamilton College in upstate New York, up near Utica, in New York. And there were a couple of really good bluegrass musicians, one of whom I'm still in touch with, a guy named John Garrison. But there was a phenomenal banjo player who was no longer with us, unfortunately. His name was Steve Fensterer, and he was the first one I heard play the Bill Keith style, melodic style banjo, and that really just hooked me in. I had listened to it before, but that style of playing just really fascinated me. So I came back here and met up with some great folks. It took a few years, but I met Bruce first. Then Dave soon afterward. But they can tell you their story because they go way back.
Bruce and I? Yeah. I played in California for 12 years, 70s into about 1983, and played with a band called High Country out there. But at that time, the Bay Area was called the ground zero of a movement started by David Grisman. I don't know if you've heard of him, great mandolin player, and fabulous guitar players, passed away now. Tony Rice was out there. And there was a lot of working bands in the Bay Area, and I was lucky to play with some really, really good musicians. I came back here, because I'm from here. I grew up in Smithtown. And then I would come home in the summer and play with Bruce. But and then I met John, my younger brother Kevin, who's a good bass player, played with John. But it's a small circle, Bluegrass. And we all kind of know about each other. So it was inevitable that if you just go get out and play a little bit, that you'd meet the people that play this music. It's not a big circle, but a very dedicated bunch. Kind of crazy bunch too. It's what it takes. Right. So it's all just fun. It's not easy to play. You have to really stay on top of it, but it's fun. What's that?
Steve?
You said you played out in California. Were you influenced by the Bakersfield sound at that
Oh, sure.
part of your...
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. And Bluegrass out there was played a lot of different ways. It was progressive bands, and they incorporated some of the electric music, and some of them used drums. This music is percussive enough. I think you could tell you really don't need drums. And there was a traditional circle of people. I played in a traditional bluegrass band called High Country. But there was also a fabulous singer named Vern Williams, who I learned some of the plays with him, and other people too. So the Bay Area in the 70s and 80s was a real hotbed of experimentation. And I was lucky to be out there at that time. But I'm glad to be back here. I'm from Long Island. I missed the seasons out there. You lose track of time. But, so I came back here, and boy, it was a different place from 1972 till about 84. And look at it now. I mean, it's like, holy cow. It's coming. Yes.
One other quick question. Do you ever play any of your old music from High Country?
I sing some of the songs we sang, yeah. There's some that High Country did. Walking the Dog is one that High Country recorded. And then there was a songwriter named Rich Wilbur who wrote another one we do, In the City it's called. So we incorporated some of that stuff from out there here. But we draw on everything. I mean, that John Prine number, that was like a folk song. And, it all can be bluegrassed a little bit, for the better.
I have a question as well, but is there anyone else who has one? So as the last question, this may be a little bit redundant, but when you say bluegrass, is bluegrass associated with particular states in the United States?
Sure.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Well, the name is.
The name is.
Bill Monroe, if you know that he's the, quote, father of bluegrass music. He was born in, I think, 1913 or so, 1911. And he, by 1946, he had played with his brother, and different types of country entertainment, dancers. They played for square dances, and then they were brother duet. It was guitar and mandolin, and they sang and played. He was a really, really good mandolin player.
So Kentucky.
But he formed a band,
Kentucky
one that
Bluegrass.
calls Bluegrass.
Kentucky Bluegrass. There's a bluegrass that grows out of the ground. It's pretty basic stuff.
I think a lot of people down south call this just country music.
No,
and then bluegrass kind of the name took hold in the
Like people
50s
outside
or
of
so.
Kentucky would refer to it as bluegrass.
It's literally roots music.
Yes and no.
Yeah.